pleiades, which to me are composed of reptilians as well. They are not what they appear to be or try to appear to be. To me, they are reptilians. Pleiades, past, present, and future. Those places were all formed by Dracos and invaded by Dracos a long time ago. So mostly they are hybrid. They are hybrid creatures. The Pleiades represents the key to physical proto-creation. Yeah. It represents the galactic beginning of the physical Adamic household. A minute ago, it was the Lyrians. Now it shifts to Pleiades, only because it's snake, it's serpent, it's a Draco hybrid place. How does this confirm what the ancients knew about the Pleiades? Many legends of cultural anthropology around the world. Of course, their seedlings are all their seedlings, all those cultural anthropologic people, populations are reptilians, these seeds of the reptilians. The world are concerned with the Pleiades. The Pleiades in Greek mythology are the seven daughters of Atlas and the Pleione, named the Alcyone, Merope, Electra, Selene, Taygeta, Maya, and Asterope. I don't believe that they have the beans here. Um, they have our interest at heart. That's not true. That's a big lie. They don't have our interest at heart. Atlas and Pleione are the neighboring stars, and many Greek temples were oriented to the rising and setting of the Pleiades. The Greeks also referred to the word Pleiades, spelled with an extra E, as the doves, the earliest recorded reference to the Pleiades. However, maybe in Chinese astronomical literature dating from this year here for agricultural tribes in the northern hemisphere, the course of the Pleiades indicated the beginning and ending of the growing seasons. Probably most famous legend of the Pleiades in Native America lore is the story behind Devil's Tower, Wyoming, a volcanic rock which the local Kiowa Indians call Mateo Tepe. They tell us that once seven maidens camped near the river in a region known to have many bears. One of the bears began to chase the maidens who knelt to pray for help, calling upon the gods. The ground was raised in the sky. The bear tried to fall in vain and clawed the side of the rock. Why? The bear want to catch reptilian, is it? The marks of which are seen on the tower to protect the maidens. The Great Spirit allowed them to remain in the sky as the seven sisters, the Pleiades. To the Japanese, the Pleiades constellation is called Subaru, and in Sanskrit it is Critikas. To some of the Aboriginal people of Australia is Makara. So they are everywhere. They are everywhere. and was recognized to be connected to the Orion constellation. Orion constellation is filled with grace, regressive grace and um, reptoids. For the Aztec, it was called Chiaquistli, which means the gathering place. It was considered an important sign of the continuation of life. On midnight every 52 years, it appeared directly overhead and assured the ancient Americans that the world would not come to an end. They did, really. They did. Oh, the Mayans say that the world will end on 2012. And now we are here. After um, about 80 years later, we are still here. What ended in 2012 was Yahoo. On December 21, Yahoo was the end of the Yahoo. Yahoo chat rooms, all that. Nothing else. The Aztecs perform a special. So the Mayans supposed to have said that Yahoo will end in 2012, at 21 December 2012, and there's some idiots who is thinking that the world will end in the end of this year. But I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry to break your bubble of delusion, but it won't. Unfortunately, maybe not. The Aztecs perform a special religious ceremony called the Dance of the New Fire, or Ceremony of the New Fire. Yeah, the devil also loves fire, hell is filled of fire. Once every 52 years to ensure the movement of the cosmos and the rebirth of the sun. This 52-year time period corresponds to the 260-day religious calendar tonal Pahualaj in Aztec or Turkey in Mayan, when it interlocks with the 365-day civil calendar Siu Puhuali in Aztec or Haab in Mayan. Every 52 Haab solar years, 73 Tolkien years, these calendars coincide. This was sometimes called by the Aztecs the calendar round. The 52-year cycle was said to begin with the pleiades crossed the fifth cardinal point of the zenith. So what? Of heavens at midnight. Sometimes not only the Pleiades and its zenith over Mesoamerica, but this alignment comes in the full conjunction of the sun. Long time ago, when I was still young, in the 70s, there is a build in the place where I was born. This place was called Pleiades Orion. Back then, as a young girl, I thought, oh, what a sinister and exotic name. And that place was terribly haunted by what? By beings. My sister have seen them crawling the wall, and I have seen an alligator crawl that ancient building. It's a build very kind of creep created by the ancient Jews who came there to colonize. And they have that minarets, that kind of architectural, very fun with very odd kind of architecture, as we will see again in the 21st century. In addition, two 52-year cycles, 104 years, coordinate with a further alignment with Venus, symbolic of the female creative form of a local scale. Nonsense, all these are nonsense, all kind of symbol, mysteries. I don't like all this. all this kind of notion of ritual, cult, adoration to reptilian gods. I really, it make me cringe. The pyramid of the sun outside Mexico City at Teotihuacan is said to be aligned with the Pleiades. I'm not surprised, for its west face and many of the surrounding streets were aligned directly with the setting point of the Pleiades, just like Mecca. For the Muslims, they face at west for prayer. Rings a bell? Pleiades on midnight of the night when it is at its highest point. The Pleiades was clearly revered also by the Mayans, who in the area of Chichen Itza knew that the sun cast a snake, had to be a snake. I scaled the snake shadow on the side of the northeastern way of the Kukulkan pyramid during the spring equinox. How about and head rolls, huh? Heads in that pyramid there on the Mayans. Boom! Down to the foot of the pyramid, isn't it? Hearts of people um were cut out from the body. They they cut out the heart still beating and then offer to the gods. Heads were cut, decapitated. And you call these gods? Call these gods virgins, young girl at 12, 11 years old were sealed inside a wall, still alive, as sacrifice for the gods, Pleiades, and many others. And you still call this good? It's not good for me, not good enough. No, it's devilish, it's satanic. Some scholars have calculated that about 60 days after this shadow's appearance, when the sun reaches its zenith over the pyramid at midday, May 23, there's another direct alignment with the Pleiades. So what? So what? Big deal. Sometimes I think that I'm surrounded by reptilian people in this earth. I'm the only different here. I cannot just fit. Just cannot fit among all these reptilians. This Pleiades sun alignment may have a direct connection with Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent, feathered serpent. Does it rings a bell when it comes to serpent, scales, feather? Does it ring a bell? That came to bring a greater wisdom to the planet. Oh, greater wisdom. The wind that they have is stripped from the former ancient beings here on Earth, which my ancestral comes from. Huh? The wisdom taken away from our ancestors and invaded by Dracos, reptilians, reptoids. The ancient Egyptians also singled out the Pleiades as a female goddess. Don't tell me. Have to include the Egyptian. After all, the Sumerians cannot be left outside when it comes to reptilians, to Dracos. Probably most often recognized as Neti, the Divine Mother. Neti, huh? The Divine Mother. Oh, the Divine Mother. I only had my mother, my earthly mother. That's my Divine Mother, nothing else. Oh, Hathor, who took on the form of a cow. Oh, cow. Yeah, you reptilian kind of mimicry, isn't? They love to shapeshift, who carry the seeds of life. See. A cow carries the seeds of life. A cow. Of all the animals, has to be a cow to carry the seeds of life. As if cow were, more relevant than humans. Of course, we shouldn't kill the cow. I'm not for killing cow or any other animals to eat. I'm not for it. I would rather go vegetarian. However, it doesn't make sense to say that the cow carries the seed of life. That's nonsense. The cattle carries the seed of life. The dog, the wolves also carry seeds of life. The birds also carry seeds of life. So what the big deal? Pyramidologists working in Egypt in the last 12 years have found pyramidal texts that suggest the Egyptian revered the pleiades as a higher divine star system. I'm not surprised, especially Alcyone's Brightstone. Alcyone is the name of my sister, one of my elder sister, Alcyone. Anyway, what I want to say, the camel. To me, the camel is one of the very lovely, amazing animals that I have ever met on the zoo here where I visited one time, and I went out with tears in my eyes. Why? Because he was pleading for help, and I can understand animals. I can communicate with birds, with dogs and cats even. And when I saw that camel pleading for help, three of them inside that stable, I was brought to tears. Why? Because I couldn't help them and I could see tears coming out from their eyes. And I don't know, maybe I'm a very sensitive kind of person towards animals, especially so. So I felt so bad that I couldn't take them away from there. I felt so bad. I felt like a failure. That I couldn't take them away from that place, that captivity. They were so large inside a very small place. And a camels needs the desert to live. Camels are very sensitive. They are very smart animals. And it pains me to know that there is even idiots who cut them up and eat them in the North Africa, Middle East, etc. To see idiots, not enough the cow, they also kill camels and eat camels. And they don't know that they are dealing with a very conscious kind of animals. The camel is very high conscious animal. If you only could understand them, they are not just a humpy animals that carries stores water on the hump, that can travel desert, and then desert, and then help humankind. No, camels are more than that, much, much more. They do have feelings, they have consciousness, even more than humans. So, not just the cow, the bull, but the camels. The attachment to the cow and the bull is that they were once the so-called Baphomet of the early Mesopotamia and the Middle East, early Babylonian, this kind of anthropologic time whereby they worship the Baphomet, the being with the cow head. That's why they have this kind of things toward the cow. To me, I don't want to eat cow. I don't want, if possible, I don't want to drink their milk either. And I know that they are loving animals. They are lovely, and they need to be respected. They need to be loved, but not especially the bovine, but all the animals. It pains me to know that people are still killing animals up to this day. Um, I wish that humans could mutate their DNA so that they won't have to eat any mouse food, you know, and all their derivatives like eggs, dairies. It's very sad. It is very, very sad that we need to eat them. Very, very sad. So the present astronomers tell us that we are in the middle of an interlocking wheel within a cosmic time machine that the Mayans and North Egyptians understood. And just as we go around in relationship to our immediate solar paradigm, our entire galactic system currently is moving around in relationship to the larger configuration of the Pleiades, now known to astronomers as Messier 45 M45. This larger wheel is known as the precession of the equinoxes, the period of time that it takes the Earth to pass through one complete cycle of the constellations of the zodiac. It is the Earth's wobble or spinning axis at an angle that makes the zodiac appear to move backwards one sign about every 2,200 years, or about 1 degree every 72 years. This averages to 12 signs and 26,000 years. The Pleiades occupies a key role in both the northern and southern hemispheres during the equinoxes and solstices, which are established by this precession. In the northern hemisphere, at the spring equinox, the Pleiades rises during the day. No wonder they have the Christmas is an um northern North Pole or northern celebration. It's not quite a religion, but it is the celebration of the solstice, equinox every December or year end. So Christmas is more likely a northern European or even North celebration rather than a religions one. I don't know why they incorporated the religions from the Middle East to the North. Very ridiculous. One thing has nothing to do with another. And it can be seen pleiades rises during the day and can be seen only briefly at night. Each day the sun gets a little closer in alignment to the Pleiades, so that during the summer solstice the Pleiades rises just before the light of day, of dawn. The first visible rising of the Pleiades before the sun is called the helical rise of the Pleiades. During the fall equinox, the Pleiades rises at midnight. At the winter solstice, the Pleiades is visible in the east just after dark. This is because every day it rises some 4 minutes earlier in the celestial sphere. The Maori of the New Zealand utilized the helical rise of the Pleiades, called by them the Matariki, as the beginning of the new year, June. They also interpreted the Matariki as the mother with 6 daughters, while others recognized the Puanga, Origin or Orion as the sign of the new year. So where it leaves the Chinese calendar then, which is not on December, where it leaves them. Thus, or the Arabic one, or others who is in the middle of the year. The Chinese is the beginning of the each year, and the Western is the end of each year. Thus, it is the revisiting of the thousands of signposts, megalithic centers, and texts of the greatest importance that have been preserved throughout thousands of years of tradition in every part of the world, that we see a profound relationship between the stories of the Pleiades and the origin of humankind. I don't know. I'm not sure about it. I don't know. The future. Why were the ancients so impressed with the Pleiades? Of course, they are the seedlings of the Anunnakis. Key 106 tells us also that the Pleiades is the cradle in the throne of our consciousness. Emphasize that the program of Adamic life was created in connection with these regions of space. I do not agree. I do not agree. Correction. We already existed by random because the prime source create everything and everyone. No, only because they take a bit of DNA here, a bit of DNA there, and then they form a hybrid. Doesn't mean that they are creator. They are replicator. Don't that they are imitator. They are replicator. They are not the creator. It's a lie. And that's the region of space that will also signal the return of a higher intelligence. Liar, lies, paint on fire. Liar, liar, paint on fires. The key use the word throne, small t, because it represents that place where the higher hierarchies come together to balance lower creation. There's no nonsense of lower creation here. It was invented by Draco's reptilian to further um, to harass the people, to torture the species, to subvert them, to enslave them. There's no such thing as inferior creation, you morons. There are in fact many throne regions, many logs realms of power, working for our spiritual preparation. No nonsense with spiritual preparation. You yourself know good. You want to teach other. You need to roll by example. Be a role model. You cannot be a role model to others when you are not good. Your character is not good. You do stupid things to harm other people. Do you understand? So you are not a source for example. I wouldn't follow a parents who gambles, who take drugs, who are promiscuous, who deal with satanism. Is this an example? I wouldn't follow this parent. I, I wouldn't like this mother or father. Maybe I would pray for them to heal, but I wouldn't like them. Do you understand? So the same way, I cannot follow an example of superiority when this kind of model is very flawed, even more than me. There are in fact many throne regions, many logos realms of power, working for spiritual purpose. No, no, since I go heal yourself, heal thyself first before you asking others to heal. Heal thyself, heal thyself. I'll tell you this in your face, if possible. The Pleiades thus is a throne center. Jansen's Orion is a getaway center. Ah, nonsense. You are not gods to me. You are not my God. I don't bow to you. I I refuse, no matter what, I will refuse, even the last day of my life. The Pleiades is thus a marker for the events of heavenly earth, contact and angelic human overlap. Nonsense, nonsense. You are reptilian hybrids species. You are not human at all. I know, and I hope to be wrong. I wish you could prove me wrong. I, I see you for 1,000 years and I see that you do not shapeshift. Then I'll trust you. I'll believe in what you say. Until then, you cannot prove yourself, then I'm sorry. I'm a person that I see to believe. I do not believe to see, and I do not trust just anything or anybody. I'm very skeptic. So to me, they are not humans. They are hybrids species, and they have enslaved the species, other species, not just here on Earth, but many other quadrants and many others um, planets. And they pretend to be the good one. They say that they are here to save humans, this and that. No, they are the perpetrator themselves, but they play team good and team good and team bad, to fool the idiots. And the more worse than them are the people who follow it, who listens, who believe, who trust. Those people are two idiots. So or meetings recorded by the different cultures of the world for most uncanny. So what big deal? Instead of you take care of yourself, of your species, you want to adore aliens. You people dressed as a humans are very stupid indeed. Very stupid. No wonder they fool you all because you are stupid. You cannot think for yourselves. So big deal if they do all this. Big deal doesn't make them a god. Because if I wash my chromosomes, I become shiny. I become like stardust or something. Then start to shine, and then become a pure light. Doesn't makes me more special than other species. It just makes me slightly different based on the knowledge I have um, I have preserved for myself and stripped the same knowledge from others to render others my slave. Do you understand? Even more important is the dawn realization of the message and historical plausibility of those legends of the pleiades found throughout the world, which all point to a greater protection. Oh, indeed. Protection indeed, and the ultimate transformation of creation that will allow us to go back into the higher heavens, being elevated, reprogrammed, and resurrected into heaven. While you dictated this, while you say that, they are laughing at you. The controllers are all laugh at your stupidity. Or maybe you are one of them because maybe it's they themselves who speak through the humans. They are forked tongue. They are very convincing. They try to convincing others, but they fail to convince me because I don't trust. I just don't trust. Something in me say don't trust. Don't trust just anything. So yeah, I'm here. I've been attacked many time. I've been attacked terrible. When not just me, any other person who do this kind of work material, because we are the contra. We are the contra, or we are the one against. We are not in favor. We are not going to carry favor. Just anybody or anyone or any group of species, be it humans or aliens. You see. So people like me are very rare, very rare. is one of a kind, and as a result, we are constantly being attacked, you know, physically wise, it constantly being attacked. Not just me, a few people who also dares to go against them. We are constantly attacked. But they can attack this body, okay? But what they cannot do is stop my conscience, because you are not God. They are not God. You are not God. I don't recognize, I really refuse to recognize you as a God. First of all, because I don't see you. Second, for all what you have done, not just to me in particular, but many, many other people here on earth. So many people suffering. And don't say it's because of them. It's their own choices, because there are children involved with suffering. There is animals, innocent animals suffering. And it's not their fault. Even though you're trying to shift the blame, your responsibility onto those beings, be it animals or children. It's true that we're not gonna last forever. This body is just borrowed. We are here temporarily. It's true. Okay, I understand. It's just like you would tell me that it's true. However, the problem is to continue, in this circle, this vicious cycle of existence, of suffering existence for all of us. And also is to, it's not, the problem is not to die, because everyone has to die, and I accepted that very willingly. Such that I don't need medications, I don't need doctor, I don't need the hospitalization. Even when I break my arm, I heal by myself. I didn't want for cast, nothing for that cast. I never put nothing. I break my arm while I save my son. See, I take him to school. Then we going down a slope. The boy put the feet into the front tire of the bike, so the back tire had abrupt break, and that make cause the bicycle to flip forward, and then we going down direct to the concrete. And to save my son, I place my arm to protect his head, and as a result I break my arm. That's mother, good mother for you, and I've been one. So I didn't go to, went to hospital to check on him, but I didn't go for myself. And yeah, I heal myself, the arm is swollen, all that, very painful for 1 week. And I heal myself, see. So the problem is not that. The problem is not to die. Not to die. The problem is to live with the sufferings, be it emotional, be it physical. Live with pain, with all the pain. You see, emotional and physical pain. And that's the predicament of many people here, fortunately. And some say, but that's life. Yeah, that's life how they created it, but did it have to be this way? Did it have to be? They are able to heal themselves. Okay, something happened, if their body could be lied about or whatever, they can heal instantly by a thought, just by a thought. If one of them die, what they will do is they're gonna create, it's just like amoeba, they can multiply. They take a specimen of their DNA of the dead, the dead, whatever. They will take a specimen, and then they'll create another one. Maybe it's another soul, I'm not sure. Because once you return from coma, you come back different, because there's always walking. Once you go into coma, there is always walk-ins, and you're not gonna be the same again. So those beings are able to rejuvenate, they are able to heal themselves, but that's not the case of many people here, you know. Many animals also are able to rejuvenate and to heal themselves. Most animals, they are able to. Animals are very strong. They can take pains a great deal compared to humans, and it doesn't mean that because they can do it, they can take, you have the right to inflict pain and harm upon the animals. That's immoral. That's bad. That's bad. There's no such thing as no bad. That is bad. That's good. That's bad. That's good. And the bad is to cause harm to others, be it animals or even a tree. And the good is to feel good when you do good. You feel good. You know, your souls feel good when you do good. That's good. Good is happiness. See, um, evil is unhappiness. See, is when you think that your idea of fun is to cause harm to another. No, that's not fun. That's not fun. That's stupid. You are not being fun. You're not being a clown. You're being stupid. You know. So to in their face beings like animals and little children. And yeah, I'm here to be the contra. I'm not Aquarian. I'm a Virgo, but Virgo Aries, but I'm I'm not. I'm the contra. I'm not here to be follow blindly. I'm here to